now I'm here with President Diaz. How are you, Mr. Diaz?
I'm fine.
So, how are you able to win the re-election of 1884 against Manuel Gonzalez?
My way of ruling was to use corruption and violence towards the people, but it eventually failed when they elected Manuel Gonzalez as president in 1880. That was when I decided that Gonzalez would be my puppet and I would make him use corruption and violence to get the people to dislike him and vote for me.
Wow. So, do you know anything good that came out of your 30 years as president?
Peace and economic stability. These two factors came for a price, of course.
What were some of the prices that came with the peace and economic stability?
One of the things I enforced was that we must get rid of indigenous cultures throughout Mexico. With the indigenous cultures out of the way, I was able to incorporate European ways of life to Mexican culture.
Who encouraged you to step up and run for president?
Benito Juarez has always been a great influence and idol to me. I joined his army in 1863 after I escaped from refuge and soon became a commander. Juarez later ran for president, and I knew that with my fame I was able to gain the crowd's vote.
What do you think of the next presidents leading Mexico throughout the revolution?
Out of the ones that followed me, Venustiano Carranza was the one that made an impact on Mexico. The ones before him weren't able to last a full term of presidency and did not improve Mexico. Carranza was able to give out more land to peasants than any of us combined.
Why do you think you were elected for 35 years?
I think I was popular with the people since I supported trade with foreign countries. Also, I think the people were afraid of electing someone different and possibly ruining our governmental and economic situation.
Did you consider yourself as a notorious dictator of Mexico?
I did, because I was able to accomplish many things the citizens wanted, and I helped modernize Mexico. I was also able to achieve financial sovereignty to the country of Mexico.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Possibly in more political affairs.
What was the reason for wanting to help improve Latin America?
The reason is because when I was growing up, the country was faced with economic hardships. Growing up was hard, especially since my father died when I was 3. I didn't want anyone to go through that again, so I decided to act against it.
What was going through your mind when you finally announced your step down from presidency?
It all went by in a blur. Ruling one country for 35 years and having to step down is unreal. I was able to accomplish many things in the country that the country desperately needed. So it didn't make me feel sad that I was no longer needed and to be walking away from so many problems I had to solve.
Do you plan on staying in Mexico?
I plan on staying in Paris, France.
Okay, well, thank you, President Diaz.